Hello, and welcome back. I am Trev, I'm the Geordie GM. Hi, how you doing? You alright? These wonderful people right here are, like last time, act as, well, I suppose, in the really broad sense of the word, but these are my players. We are part of the Gob Squad. So, I will let them introduce themselves. Hopefully, you will have figured out what their classes and abilities and things are. So, let's see if you got them right. So, introduce yourself, wonderful players.
Hi, I'm Nilwug Pigglewiggle. I'm a druid. Yes.
What kind of druid? Oh wait, we don't have subclasses.
No, level
No,
one.
you're only level 1, yes.
We're just
Give it
little one
Give it
pinkuses.
time.
Hi, I'm Tago Pigwiggle, and I am a monk.
Sounds like a fucking Alcoholics Anonymous meeting, doesn't this?
I'm your apprentice.
Okay.
I'm Curly. I'm playing the Goblin Grub, the Artificer, Cook, and Chef.
I am Thugug Pigwiggle, the Ranger, Hunter, and Armor Crafter, I suppose. Of the...
Yeah, me. Steve, play Bugwug Fighter. Good.
And I'm Jim. I'm playing Blasbo, who is entirely trustworthy and only has magical abilities by virtue of the Booyarg staff. 100%, for sure.
What class were you again?
Normal Goblin! I'm a Warlock.
Okay, so you've probably figured it out by now. So, cool stuff for you. Anyway, what happened last time? Well, for us in the real world here, it's actually been a fair few weeks. Sorry about that. We haven't been able to upload things. Real life things have been getting in the way, illnesses and all sorts of other bits and pieces. But we're here now. Oh, we are going to have a quick recap. So, the Pigwiggle clan, our wonderful, wonderful people right here, started off on a really good high. They'd just come back from a raiding party. They had a fabulous time. Stab the Human, I think, was the game of choice at the time. The Pigwiggle complex was attacked by some pesky elves, and our players right here managed to escape via a back route that was pointed out by the old leader, Smegweg.
There you go, rest his soul.
He himself had some interesting habits that he did behind closed doors. Not everybody seemed to like it. But anyway, they did manage to find their way out and met a bit of a strange old lady in the wood, the Witch of the Wood, after killing her dog, which she was going to eat. You know, because that's what goblins do, apparently. We also managed to sneak back into the cave, re-equip, and fight off some leftover elves that were coming to finish the job. And this is exactly where we pick in. So Tago had just been healed by something. Actually, I'll better not say that. Something that Nilwug gave her and got it from an odd place. So as you look around this 30-foot domed cavern, you now have 5 dead elves that I believe eating and soup were part of. What are you all going to do right now?
So, because one of Blasbo's favourite food is elf crispies, which involves their teeth and gums, I'm going to harvest them from the elves.
Lovely. I tell you what, just first roll of the evening belongs to Tago. I've had many weeks to learn these frickin' names. Let's see, hope I get them all right. That was doing my boxing. Anyway, Tago, give me a survival check to see how well you can harvest these teeth. How many you can get intact. $14. You do quite an adequate job. You get at least 3 servings. Or at least what you estimate to be 3 servings of whatever it is that you're wanting to prepare.
I think we were calling them tooth crispies, weren't we? Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, teeth crispies.
Crispies.
Right. Anyone else wanting to do anything before you... Do you know what? I don't actually know what you're going to do, because you haven't actually said.
If we're spending some time harvesting, I will start skinning some of these elves so I can make some leather later.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow. Another survival roll, please.
Specifically going for the skin off their backs, because it'll be the sort of biggest clean chunk.
I promise they're not like this in real life. I promise.
Your heroes, ladies and gentlemen.
Right, you try your best. You're not necessarily used to skinning elves. I mean, who is? And you find that the skin is a little bit fragile, and you get some kind of usable bits, not the big bits that you would like. You tear a lot of them, and there's again you add to the mess and the gore of the scene. Alrighty, Nilwood, what are you doing?
I'll hand out some of my truffle treats and I'll eat 3 myself. If
I'll take
anyone
one.
needs any, you'll take one. It just gives you 1 HP back, every one you eat.
Right,
I've
where
got
do you
6 down
get
now.
these truffle treats from?
I just start picking them out of my pants, just digging in,
Okay.
pulling them out.
Okay, I'm forgetting something. Right, okay. You hear a voice in your head. If you give all those away, we might not have any left for ourselves.
I'll look at the bunch I have in my hand and I'll put 2 back in my pants. And I'll have 4 to hand out.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm pleased. It feels so good when you chew. When you crunch your teeth together, the vibrations. Ooh. And then goes quiet. Grub. What are you doing?
I'd be calling over to the 2 that are they're making a mess of these bodies, and say, "Oh, friends, please save me the cheeks. They'll go excellent in the soup."
I've already saved you the cheeks. I only took the teeth and gums.
Then I guess I'll collect some cheeks, some elf cheeks, and stir them into the pot, and just give it a good little slurp.
It, as far as soup goes, it's kind of fluffy. It's kind of odd. It's a nice texture. It doesn't do anything for the flavor at all. It just seems to make it a little fluffy, almost carbonated, but sort of thing.
Still missing something.
Definitely. Blasbo, what are you doing?
I'll be sort of surveying the area as the booyarg, feeling victory. And obviously, while we're starting to harvest the bodies, I'll just, at the very first instance, start to collate the items to one side for looting. Because if I remember correctly, they had some bows, they had some swords.
Yes, there was some elf-sized bows. They all had a short sword each. They all have leather armor. All of it is too big for you. But, that's fine. You can do with it what you will.
How many was there? Just make
There was
a
5.
note.
So there was 5 elves total. There were 1, 2. There was 3 of them had bows. all of them had a short sword. And
Was
leather
some of them
armor.
dual wielding?
No, they only had one, and they were multi-attacking.
Okie dokie. So 5 short swords, 5 elf armors, and 3 longbows.
Make an investigation check to see if you can find anything extra that I can think upon the spot. Oh my word. You find... Roll a D... Oh, I tell you what. Roll 5d10 for me. One of them has in his boot a gem. This is a small ruby. It's in the toe of his boot. You don't know if he knew about it or not. It seemed relatively hidden. And that is worth 32 gold.
Slide that in my back pocket.
Are you trying to do it sneakily, or are you just going to be absolutely blasé about it all?
Yeah, I should be blasé.
Okay.
I'm the Booyarg after all.
Yes, you are the Booyarg. Hail Booyarg, Blasbo!
Said no one ever.
Right, Bugwug. You were up and down a little like a yo-yo. You're feeling it a little bit. What are you doing?
I sit down for a moment and I look at everyone doing everything. And I formulate a little plan in my head. And I will stand up and I will say, Brothers! Fellow members of the Pigwiggle clan, do you not see what has happened here today? These foul, disgusting elves have invaded our beautiful sanctuary home. They have killed our other members, slain many. Not only that, but they came back around a second time to see if they could kill us again. They could not. This is a slight against all of us. One that could not go unavenged. We must do our duty to our great lineage and strike back at these fiends. Who agrees?
Yeah.
I agree.
An excellent idea, and I'm so glad I thought of it.
Damn it. He did think of it. He just said he did. Of course that's how it works. Fuck.
Make ready, Pigwiggles. Eat hearty on soup and crunchies. For tonight, we kill elves!
Yay!
And with the cheer, you all feel wonderfully inspired. You can all have... I can't even remember what it's called.
Inspiration.
Inspiration, that's it. It's not something that I use very often, but you can all have inspiration.
Hell yeah.
Steve can have two.
Was that in character?
In and out of character. Anything gross that happens in real life, the goblin does it too.
So before we do, I'm assuming we're going to be marching out and picking a direction to try and find some elves to kill. But before we do, I'm just going to chop off one of the elves' feet and just take it with me.
Okay.
Just
I mean, there are
one foot?
plenty of toes.
Just one, yeah.
Just one. All right,
foot.
okay. I mean, there are plenty of toes to add to your toe necklace.
It's a bit overwhelming. I'm just going to take one foot.
Right,
That'll
okay.
do me the journey.
A
Right.
capital idea, Fogug. Let's cut them up, pile them into one, and make a great soup.
Grub. You know that cooking this many elves will take a really, really long time.
And I'm afraid they just won't all fit in my cauldron.
Then I suppose we'll have to just take some with us for tomorrow's meal.
Or barbecue.
If we had the time, I suppose we could smoke them into jerky, but...
When you say that, you suddenly remember that there is a big pile of your goblin... what's left of your goblin clan outside, on fire, smoking away.
Ah! Why bother? There's already jerky.
We need not eat these foul elves. There is the most tasty flesh of all, goblin. The superior meat.
You, with that, you all head out to view the goblin pyre. By now, it is blazing away quite wonderfully. It's going to be tricky getting close. You may have to wait for it to die down, but that also is going to take quite a while. And now that you know for definite that the elves know where you are, everybody make an intelligence check for me, please.
I don't think that's any of us.
Yeah, this is going to be great. 9, 5, 14. 14's not bad. 14. 6, yay.
Which one do you click again? Sorry for this. It's been a while.
You just click and drag from intelligence on your main sheet.
Under the chat.
Oh, double click.
Or you can just double click on your intelligence. There we go. Come on, you can save everybody. Yes! Targo! All of a sudden you think that, well, all of the elves know where you all live. Staying here for a prolonged period of time probably will not be the best of ideas. I mean, it's certainly a good way to stock up on dead elves, but, you know, you will get tired after a while, and, you know, how much can you really carry?
Friends! They already know where we are. We might as well loot the bodies and go before they come back. Some of us are a little worse for wear. And of course, but of course, Booyag, it is your decision.
Very well, then. Let us sally forth and burn their houses down, as they did to our comrades.
I will drop to all fours and start scuttling around the floor, sniffing, looking for tracks, trying to find any sort of indications. I know we sort of knew that there was a bunch of them off in the distance somewhere, just seeing if I can find any kind of direction as to where they might have actually went.
Okay. Make a survival roll, please. And while you're doing that, Tago, what were you saying?
I was going to say, I have a look at the leather armor and try and see if it would fit me.
It's very large for your small frame. You think it would be more of a hindrance to you rather than anything, because you do large movements and wind-ups for all of your monk abilities and things like that. That might be a bit too cumbersome for you. Nothing stopping you do it, but there would be, in-game, there would be some negative modifiers, perhaps. Right. So, Fogug, you get down on all fours, and yes, you find the elf trail. Now, it wasn't just these elves that arrived here. There was you're not exactly sure how many there was that first came here, but you find, because it's almost impossible not to, a very large selection of tracks of elves heading to the main road and in the rough general direction of the nearby town. Well, village. Large village. You all were told never to go there because you were supposed to be kept secret. No one was to find the Pigwiggle house. And for quite a while that worked, but now it's not so much of an issue now that they know where you are. So The village is the direction. You have got no idea what this village is called, but the elves definitely came from there.
Okay. I will go back to the group, and I will just be sort of, again, staying pretty much on all fours, and I'll just go, elves, this way! And seeing that Tagore is looking for some leather armor, am I able to use, while we're like maybe traveling or something, could I be using my proficiency with leatherwork as tools to like see if I can cut off some of the bits of leather to make it a bit more Tagore sized?
You can. I will let you do a brief appraisal, but you can't do the tracking while you are doing that sort of stuff.
So I'll keep the leather with me at least, and maybe cut it down to size later.
I mean, if you want to do one now, you can do a brief appraisal and then give sort of general sort of directions to like cut there, and then off you go, and then leave Tagore to it. But that could be interesting.
I could try taking over for directions if you want. I know these woods pretty well.
Yes, you do.
I'll try a survival check. Not bad.
Yes, you can navigate around these woods fairly easily. You know the direction of the road. You don't often venture further than that unless you are actually with a raiding party and things like that. You do stick to the woods, so you do know them very, very well. You can find your way through here, no probs.
Okay, so I will spend the time, if I can, then just making some cuts into the leather and trying to make the leather a bit more Tagore sized while we're traveling.
Okay then, so as you are traveling, are you trying to be quiet, or are you just getting closer before you try to be a little bit on the stealthy box?
I would think quiet, just because they know where we are.
I'm not trying to be quiet. Fuck that.
I am.
In fact, I want to have a conversation, I think, on the journey. I'm gonna waddle on over to Fugog, because he's probably trailing a bit behind while he's working and walking at the same time.
Yeah,
I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna go over and I'm gonna say, quite loud for everyone else to hear. Ah, Fugog, my good friend, perhaps we should hang to the back of the group for a bit and have a conversation in the common tongue to practice before we reach the big city.
I'll sort of look up from my work with one of the toes from a necklace in my mouth and just spit it out. Okay.
Excellent. So nobody needs to pay attention to what we say. It's just filthy human tongue words.
I go closer to Blas, offer a tooth crispy.
Oh, thank you.
Are we going common for that? Jim.
I'm not going to be speaking. I'm going to be crunching.
Okay.
Master. He seems to be up to something, that one.
I wouldn't worry.
You're not too smart, are you?
How dare you speak to your Booyog in such a way?
You use magic.
Yes?
Be careful. Elves is about.
Then they shall feel my power. I mean, the power of the staff.
Careful.
I'm always careful. You worry too much.
So back at the back of the group.
Yeah.
In common. So, Fugog, I don't know if you realized there earlier when the discussion for who should lead the tribe now took place. Blasbo suggested, after
acknowledging only a booyah could lead, and I disregard the rule and lead instead. Do you see? He is trying to trick me. He's been scheming against me this entire time. If I accepted, I would have broken the rule and have been kicked out of the clan. He's trying to undermine me, separate our great family. But you and me, Fuguk, we're brothers and cousins, and also probably niece and nephew somehow. This is a family bond that cannot be broken so easily. I need to know. Will you stand by me and make sure that this foul deceiver does not get between us, does not kick me from the clan?
I'll sort of look at Bugwug for a little while, as if thoughtful. And then... For it has not really been known, because no one's really spoke to Fugug much. He can't actually speak common.
I knew I could rely on you.
He can understand it, but he can't speak it. He can only speak Goblin. Fugug actually understands several languages, but can only speak Common.
Can I speak Goblin?
Sorry. Can only speak Goblin.
Me.
Well, that was revealing.
Such kind words. I appreciate it. Just be on the lookout. Remember, he is the Booyak. He controls the Booyak. He may use it against us. In fact, we should perhaps prepare to destroy all of those who use Booyak. Just something to be aware of. They may turn against us in the future. We should be ready.
I'll sort of point to the quiver on the back with my arrows and just nod and just go.
What stimulating conversation in common! Certainly, we are most ready for the city. And everyone will get exactly what they're looking for.
And with and with that, you continue on your short trek towards the town. All right. Village. It's a village. It's a large village. I said that last time. I must remember.
It's a metropolis.
Oh my word! A large metropolis. Oh god. No, it's just a large village. You are walking for round about 5 hours, and it is starting to get dark. Now, goblins are. Well, all goblins have night vision, which is great for them. Now, this is a question here. Is the Pigwiggle a nocturnal clan or not?
I thought with us being underground that we probably wouldn't even know.
Possibly not. Right,
we would just maybe go out hunting when we're hungry, and if it's daytime, it's daytime. If it's nighttime, it's nighttime.
Well, you would know, because you would have done many raids and things in the past, so you would have known that the lighter the sky, the more chance that you can find some goodies on the road. So, would you have slept nighttime and been awake to perform raids and them sorts of things, or the other way around, and you just do the raids sort of as and when you're running out of things?
maybe like most will just be awake in like the evening, so we've got a bit of light and a bit of night, so we can stick to the shadows if we need to do raids at night, and then we've got a bit of daytime as well to.
Righty, okay. So there is a particular term, diurnal, is it? Or something along those sorts of lines? Anyway. I'm sure I'll be corrected at some point down the line. So you are getting close to this this large village, and as it comes into sight, you see that it is walled, at least partially walled. There is a wall being constructed, but it looks like it's only been done for maybe a week, 2 at the very most. So there are still big areas where you can just sort of waltz in and out. It's all made of wood. The gate, the main entrance gate in, is not covered at all. That bit's not walled. They have started at the very rear, and you can see a very large building that is a grandiose human-style house. It has 2 floors. Did I give it 2 floors or did I not? Can't remember. No, it doesn't. But it is very tall. It is by far the biggest structure around. By far. The wall starts at the back of that and branches out and around this this thing, and they're about halfway down either side. So, with a little bit of sneaking, you think that you may very well be able to sneak your way in. If that is what you were wanting to do.
There it is, my brothers. The biggest house in this settlement.
It also
we shall turn it to ash. It also starts what?
It also starts to rain.
We will have to burn it from the inside out.
Of course, wait, no, I should speak in Goblin.
Of course! It stands to reason that the biggest place will hold the most elves. We should, no doubt, prepare for a dangerous incursion. Perhaps our most powerful leader should go in first.
Yes, as leader, I should make the important decisions. Bugwug, in you go!
Very well. I will be as quiet as possible. And I then proceed to continue to not stealth and just walk through towards the house.
And just sort of hanging back with everyone and goes, there he goes, like a hero.
Right, you are still... you're not in the village yet. So you can start heading towards the village. How actually are you going to approach this?
I'm walking up to the village.
You're walking up to the village.
Trailing behind him as well.
Right, okay.
Walking.
Okay. You roll a d20 for me, please. This is just a luck check. Higher the better. Awesome. You walk all the way up to one of the outer buildings of the village, and as luck would have it, you have timed it absolutely perfectly to be in the gap of one of the sentries that are kind of walking around this place, and you just walk straight in. Not a care in the world. Followed by Nilbug.
Such is my mastery of tactics.
Right, so now that you are in this place, there are humans, there are... I should ask this first. Once you are in there, are you making any effort to conceal yourself in any way, shape, or form? Not at all, right? Okay. So, yes, so once you get in there and you just brazenly start walking through the winding streets and things like that, it's raining, it's getting muddy. There are not a lot of people out because of the rain. So you don't see a great many people. You do see the odd human that is running from place to place, not paying any attention to you at all. On your way in, you do see that there are elves on the sentries. That's all of the races that you can see in here right now. So, where are you heading now that you are in here?
Well, naturally, as the leader of this operation for now, I'm going to find one of those humans that is running about in the rain, and I will point my finger at him as he runs, and I will say, "You there! Halt!"
Make a how are you trying to do? Are you trying to intimidate this person, or are you just asking them kind of politely?
Just tell them to stop. That's it, really.
Right. Make an intimidation check to see if you can make your weird sort of voice commanding enough to do it. Yes, they stop at the tone of it, and they turn and look at you, just rain. And they see you with your what armor are you wearing?
I've got a bucket on my head. I've got a human skull across my belly. I've got some bit of metal across one arm. I've got an armored boot that I stole off a dwarf and a bag on the other foot.
Okay. This person turns to look at you, and you see that it is actually a woman. A middle-aged kind of woman. She's got very short brown hair, dark eyes, and she looks thoroughly unimpressed at you. And she goes, "What you doing out here in the rain? You should be inside, young man."
Enough of that, Toad. You will direct me to the most flammable items in this settlement. I seek to start a large fire for non-damaging reasons. I simply wish to create a flame.
This is no time to be playing outside like this. Come on, I'll take you home. You'll catch a death of cold in that costume. And she comes across right up to you and tries to take your hand.
Unhand me!
And as she grabs it, it's just like, what the oh! And now she realizes that you are not, in fact, a very imaginative child playing out in the rain. You are, in fact, a goblin.
You will point me to the nearest location of a great storage of flammable items this instant.
Ah! And she just turns and runs. Are you doing anything?
This is good. They have already established fear of the local population. This will serve us well.
I will then try and find the next human out in the rain and demand that they point me to the nearest stock of flammable items.
Okay. Fogo, what are you doing at this time? She didn't pay any attention to you at all.
When she was screaming, I'd have sort of flinched and went to get out my short swords until she ran away. And then I'll just be following Bugwug for now.
Okay.
Just waiting for any orders from my new Booyarg.
Bugwug, you find it very difficult to find anyone right now. It's maybe 90 seconds or so when you hear off in the distance, a goblin! I swear it was a goblin!
Uh-huh.
I'll turn to Fugug. See, they have led us to others. We shall ask them where we can find the flammable objects. But remember not to tell them we're going to use them for fire.
Yes. I sort of like giggle to myself a little at the deviousness of it all.
Go towards the noise.
As you head towards the noise also heads towards you as you see two armored individuals heading towards you. They each have a cloak. The hood is pulled up to keep the rain off their head. It looks like that they are wearing leather sort of armor, but you can't see their face because it is the light side of dark. So things are the shadows and things are starting to lengthen a little, and they run up towards you, and they go, "You, young man, have you seen some goblins?"
Yes. Me and my compatriot here, we have come to your city to purchase flammable items.
This god, obviously making the exact same mistake that this woman did. As soon as you said my companion, and they look at Fugug, goblined out, not bothered in the slightest. And they're like, "Watch out!" And one of them sort of shoves you to one side and go, "You wait, hold! What you doing here?" Right to you,
Is he pointing at me?
Yes.
I'll take out my short swords.
Right. At this time, Bugwug, so not Bugwug, beg your pardon. Let's see. I'll look at you and I'll see if I can do it. So Tago, Blasbo, Nilwug, Grub, you are all on the outside, and you hear the initial shriek of the woman.
I was going to say, after about a minute or two of those two wandering in, I was going to say, "Well, let's try from the other side, shall we?" Having successfully sent those in as a distraction, trying to go around the other way of the wall.
Okay.
Are we stealthing?
I mean, I wasn't planning on it. I was planning on there being more of a physical distraction.
Okay.
Or should I say Blasbo was?
Okay. You start heading your way around. You can see even from over here, from where you are, that there is a commotion, and the sentries on the outside, several of them head in. So there is a bigger gap for you to get through. You can get through there absolutely no problems.
This is our chance, brothers. Forward! And we'll just start to scuttle our way in and try and make our way into the big building, I guess.
Right, okay. So as you head round the outside and you go into the village proper, the rain is keeping everybody sort of out of the way. And the big building, are you making a direct route, or are you trying to go kind of circuitous?
Yeah, we're not going to run straight there. We'll go sort of like round the sides of stuff. We're not going to run in the main street.
Just for time scale, that's what I was after for. Right, okay. So back to Bugwug. So you draw your swords. You immediately draw your swords. What are you doing, Bugwug?
I will stand from the ground, having been pushed into the mud, and I will say,
"How dare you! I just re-dirtied these clothes."
And I will also draw my sword.
Okay. So, can I have initiative from you two, please? Let me... let me get... Oh, excuse me. Oh, none of them. Come on. Where are you? There they are. Right. So I will use just two of these for the moment. Right.
before combat starts,
Uh-huh.
just out of curiosity, we were on the road for 5 hours. Could one of those hours have at least been a short rest?
Yes, you could have short rested.
Cool.
So that goes for everyone else also. You can have a short rest. Right, let's get some combat music going, shall we? Okay. Right, so short rests. Who was spending hit dice? Tago, are you going to be spending some hit dice?
Yes, I'm just trying to remember how to do it. Is it just the one at the bottom?
Yes, the bottom of the main tab on your character sheet. Just double click on it and it will roll. Yes. Oh, nice.
That was lucky.
Alrighty. Nilbog, are you? I think you're the only other one that's injured at the minute. Are you?
Yeah, why not? Full healed anyway. Fine.
34 is.
Right. Okay. Initiative. Right. So, who isn't here? So Tago isn't here. Bugwug is. Grub is not. Nilwog and Fogog. Right. Okay. So at the
And Blazbo.
and Blazbo. Yes, beg your pardon. Yeah. Nilwog, Grub, Tago, Blazbo. Yeah. And Blazbo. Right. So at the top of the round is actually Bugwug. So there are two guards. They both are not facing you. Completely mistaking this whole scenario. Technically,
Well,
whichever you choose, you can flank.
incredible. I'm going to stab one of them in the back. Just as anyone would.
Yeah.
I don't have anything in tracker to drop something on. So
Beg your pardon. There we go.
Let's go for number 1. Martial
They are just
prowess
wearing light. They are just wearing light armor.
at its finest. I'm so good at this.
Sometimes the dice hate you, brother.
Yes, they do.
You
Right.
should know never to turn your back on me.
Right. It would have been more effective if you hadn't have told him that and give him time to react, which he does, which is why you don't hit quite so hard, but you do catch him right on the hip. What, kid? What are you doing? Have you got a bonus or anything, or is that it?
No.
That's it. Righty. Okay.
I'm level 1.
Yes. Ugh.
Seeing a moment of weakness as that one turns to be looking at Bugwug, I'm going to go for his ankles with 2 slashes on the each short sword.
Okay.
So, first one. Oh, I forgot about the this one, the flanking one.
Right, that's alright. Just do another one.
I'll just roll it, it's fine. And I'll just do the second one, which probably wouldn't have got a crit anyway, it's me rolling here.
Well, it might just be the shorter races that you're good at. See, that's pretty good.
Anytime you play a character who's over 5 foot, you just...
Yeah, I think that's the issue, I just need to play short
Yeah,
characters.
just short people. Being gnomes, that'll impress Steve great.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'll just lunge at that one as he's turning and just go for his ankles with 2 slashes.
Righty. You successfully chop this guy's foot off. Absolutely. And he just completely passes out with the pain. And will bleed out very, very shortly. So he is vanquished in all essence. Righty. Anything else?
Nope. That's me.
Okay, right. It would have been him, but he's now dying. So we have the next guard. The guard is going to draw his sword, and he is going to attack you, Fogug, because he also assumed that it was a kid. So Fogug, attack coming in, and he has hit you, and he slashes down, and he gets you right across the top of the arm. It stings a bit, you know, it's not good, but you are hardy, and you're all right. That is his turn. Bugwug.
I'm assuming again I can move into a position for flanking.
Yes,
against
that's absolutely no problem.
This fucking dork. This loser. Just
You hit.
gonna absolutely obliterate him in one hit. Here we go. I did it. It's surprising.
Yeah, you declared it, and then it happened.
That's how it works.
Right, there you go. Everybody, the secret's out. When you play D&D, just declare what you're going to do before it happens, and it'll happen. There we go. How do you kill this guy?
Just as he attacks Fogug in an overt display to try and gain my comrade's trust, I will say, "Do not worry, brother, cousin, uncle. I am slay this man who dares lay hands upon thee. Yeah!" And I'll just sort of lunge upwards and get him like in maybe, I don't know, like a kidney area, and just like that, and strike as heroic a pose as my dumpy little body can, and just slash upwards like that. Before then jumping on him and just stabbing repeatedly as he falls to the ground in a much less heroic fashion.
Make a performance roll, please. And let's see how well you do your wonderful pose. 13.
That's too high.
That's...
I want to roll it again, but worse.
Well, Fogug, that was really spectacular. And then he spoilt it all right after that by jumping on and then just making sure that it was dead. If he'd stopped right then, just as the human had fallen over, everything would have been great. It would have topped it off beautifully, but no, he just spoiled it. Right. That was really quick. Everything is kind of quiet for the next maybe 10 or 12 seconds. So you have 10 or 12 seconds.
The second that these are dead, I'm going to scamper off to like an alley just to hide in the dark and just switch out to my bow and just wait to see what's happening.
Okay, make a stealth check.
Okay.
I'm gonna take off one of the cloaks from the dead guy, rip it at a point where it would be like still too long for me and trailing behind, but close enough, and I'm going to wear that and disguise myself as a guard.
Okay,
Have I just left like a blood trail of footsteps into the dark?
Right. Well, Bugwug, make a... Oh, what would that be? Just a general... let's go for... do a charisma check. Just do a standard charisma check. Right. And Fogug, when you are... you run across to the... to this... alleyway that you're after, and you slip in the mud, land on your front, and slide all the way up to the entrance, and then stand up and just don't move anywhere, and you're up against the wall. And as anybody else that looks down at the ground, there is a trough, almost an arrow pointing right towards where you are standing. Right, 16. You think you've pulled it off. You know, you're a short guard, perhaps. And as you pull the hood up, it's massive because it's obviously made for a bigger person. But you still have your chamber pot helmet on underneath. These aren't wearing those. but you know, you can see what happens. Let's see how it goes. All right. Blasbo, Tago, Grub. Oh no, Nilbug. There we go. You are making your way around through in the circuitous route, sticking close to the edge wall, and you're making your way quite merrily. You do hear some commotion. It's over very quickly. You get kind of right up close to the house, and there is a large cleared area. So you would have to go out in the open. So far, we're all good. If you just make some perception checks, please, and let's see what you can see. Well, this weird music is weird music. Right. Right. Grub, you are far too concerned about the rain getting in and spoiling your soup.
Yeah, I've tried to cover it with like I've got a little wooden lid, but it's just not good. It just sits on top and it's rolling around up there.
Yeah, you're definitely more concerned with that. Blasbo, you are concerned that Grub is not paying attention as to what he's doing.
But the soup smells so good.
It does smell good. And as a sort of an afterthought, you wonder if he's put fish heads in there, if there's still some fish heads in there, like what he did with Smegweg. You know, just as an afterthought there. Alright, Nilbug and Tago, used to actually doing what you should be doing, spot several guards situated around this house. Now, this house is, it's quite large. It is, how big is it? Let's go for, it's about 150 feet wide, almost squarish from what you can tell. There is a small building that is separate underneath a large tree, much smaller. You guys don't know why people would build another room outside of it when it could be just close together. It's just lunacy.
I mean, a hole under a tree is perfectly good. Like, you know.
Exactly. Why can't others see this? But never mind. They've all never been the most, sensible of races. So that's what you see. There are 2 sentries here.
Are they elves?
Who can you?
18 and 19 on those 2.
One of them is an elf. One of them is a human.
Look, Bugwug was right. Wait, no, that's the wrong voice. Wait, where's Posh, aren't we? Bugwug was right. All the elves are in the big house.
There is one human, though, over there.
My God, they're in league.
Indeed.
Then they must burn together.
Just so, my friend. Just so.
And we shall feast on them.
And the guards are staying put. They're not being drawn out.
No, they are not. They are not leaving their posts. Now, at the front entrance of this, there are stairs that go up to a raised platform, maybe of about 5 foot. So the bottom of the house is 5 foot of brickwork, and then it's made of wood, with like a thatched kind of roof, made bark slates almost. Then that sort of style.
Would it be possible to clamber up this, climb it?
Oh yes, absolutely. The outside is made of wood. There are beams and things available for you to grab and round the corners and things like that. Think of have any of you ever been to York? You know, the old style of buildings in York with the wooden beams and things. It's that sort of style. For anyone that hasn't been to York, look it up. Google is your friend.
And how far away are we roughly?
From where you are, the cleared area is about 50 feet.
50. Okay.
Yes. So you can get there in a dash, but you're not going to be able to stealth. You can try a slower approach and try and stealth your way across, but that will obviously take more time.
Almighty Booyag, what do you suggest?
I think we can't sneak up on them very well. We're simply going to have to just make a dash for it.
Might I interject?
Of course.
Perhaps I could offer them some of my soup as a distraction.
No one
Yes.
can resist.
Offer them your soup, and then we shall descend upon them.
Okay, I'm coming. I'm just going to start waddling across the square and yelling, "Soup for sale! Soup for sale!" and like banging a ladle on my back, on the cauldron on my back.
Okay. Before we get round to that, it's time for these lovely people to and myself to have a bit of a break. So we will be back. Join us in part 2. We're going to go and do things and get drinks and stuff. So we will be back. So see you in the next bit.